Hi guys, and welcome to Vlogmas day 11. Today is a hair video. I'm excited. I don't know if you are, but I'm going to be showing you a Christmas hair tutorial. Basically what you need to do when you just receive a non-customized wig. I will walk you through the process, but I'm going to be doing this based on my own preference. So if you have any preference or anything that you want to learn in terms of customization of hair, do not hesitate to drop them in the comments and I will be ready to reply and possibly shoot a video just to answer those concerns or those questions. All right, so the hair that I'll be working on, I got it a few months back from one of my suppliers. I used to sell hair back in Nigeria, so I have a lot of suppliers in China, Vietnam and India. I don't own colored hairs because I'm sort of a very conservative person. The most color that I can have on my hair is brown. I know. I recently dyed my hair purple. I shot that tutorial, but I'm not going to release it until next year, unfortunately. But I've been experimenting with colors more recently just to see what works for me. And I bought this wine colored hair. This is the hair, guys. And I've had it for a year. I've not done anything to it. See, it's still brand new. It has wig combs in it. It's very lightweight. It's a teapot kind of closure. So there. That's how the hair looks. I haven't worn it because I wore it when I got it and it was not nice. And so I just abandoned it and I left it somewhere. But now since we're celebrating Christmas and I feel like color is perfect for Christmas, I decided to pull it out and make a tutorial out of it. Let's try on the wig first of all. So this is how the wig looks. It's giving auntie. It's giving very judgmental auntie. It's giving wicked judgmental auntie. You know, all those aunties that will say, you've put on. That's what it's giving. So yeah, I want the wig and I just couldn't think of how I could make it cute. But we're going to do that today. I'll walk you through the process. First of all, I think it needs some layers. We need to change the curls because these curls are not it. First of all, I'm quite conservative, so I need to have dark roots. I can't have these red roots. It's giving me headache. It might work for some people, but personally it doesn't work for me, so I need to give it some dark roots. I'll most likely do a temporary fix, but I will tell you how to give a more permanent fix if that's what you want. Not even permanent, let me say semi-permanent fix, but today I'll just be doing a temporary fix to the roots. I will be changing the curls, probably give the hair some layers and then pluck the living daylight out of this wig to make it look natural, and I'm going to walk you through the entire process. So without much further ado, let's get right into this video. So the first thing we want to do is take out these wig combs. I find that they are very uncomfortable. Some people do not mind them, but I can't stand them. I'm using a seam ripper to do this because it's much easier than a scissors. The next thing we want to do is to pluck the closure. I do not do this wet, just so I can see what I'm working with and how much I've plucked. I typically do this in small sections. I'm going to be using my hot comb to just lay the hair down and make it easy to pluck. When plucking, it's important to use a slanted tweezer and then pull it just the way that I'm pulling it. Do not work in one section. Make sure you add tension to the base of the hair. That makes it easier to pluck. Next, I'm going to be using this root touch up to darken the roots. I found this in a hair store on a very random day. Before now, I would use Adore hair dye in the color chocolate brown. That gives you a more permanent fix to your roots. You just use that and get any spoolie, and then just the way that I was using the root touch up, put the spoolie in the dye and do it exactly like that. It's that easy. If you do not have a spoolie, you can also use a brush, but I find that if you use a brush, you will most likely stain the lace. Another way to not stain the lace is by spraying free spray, that's your got to be spray, on the lace before you go on with that process. Back to the plucking. Do not stay in one section, always move around and add tension to the base. That way the hair comes off easily. If you're a beginner, it might be easier to do this wet, but you never know how much you have plucked when the hair is wet. So it's safer to just use this method which I have just shown you. I'm just going to do the same to the other side of the hair. The next thing we're going to do is to get rid of these old lady coils, and in order to do that we are going to be blow drying the hair. I'm currently spraying water on the hair because I want to put in a serum. Oils are sealant and they seal in whatever condition that they find your hair in. So I want the serum to basically penetrate into the hair. Also, put in your heat protector. Do not miss this step because it will damage your hair. The heat will damage your hair. If you have just washed your hair, then you wait for your hair to get damp and then you apply your serum. Not wet, damp, just almost dry. You can apply your serum. I'm using the Chi Silk Infusion. Now that the hair is all blow dried, we are going to be adding some layers to the front of the hair. To do this, I take a small section in the front and then guide my scissors diagonally downward. I don't know how best to explain it, but I hope the video and then my voiceover is sort of explaining what I mean. Make sure that you're light-handed so you do not take out too much hair and avoid sharp cuts. Do not forget to measure where you started cutting from on the other side, just so that the layers are equal. Now to the coiling. To ensure that you have great coils every single time, always follow these rules. Always coil away from the face. I would need you to draw an imaginary line down your hair, whether you're doing it on a mannequin or you're doing it on yourself. Always draw an imaginary line and curl towards that line away from the face. The line will be in the middle of your hair, so you curl towards the line and away from the face. I don't know if that explains it, but I'm going to show you what I'm doing. I'm going to be coiling this hair in big sections because I want really loose curls. But you see the way that I have divided it now? You need to curl the right side towards the left and the left side towards the right, just like this. Make sure that the outer part of the barrel of the coiling iron faces outwards and then you coil it towards that imaginary line. Also note that the end of the hair should be underneath the coils, just so you have great coils every single time. And do not forget your heat protector. You keep the coils on for about 5 seconds and then you let it go. This is what the curls look like. Then you put your holding spray and then you pin it upwards. You do not have to use any fancy metal prongs. You can just use a bobby pin like I did. We're now going to do the other side and watch how I curl away from the face towards the imaginary line. Do not forget that the tip of the hair should be at the bottom or at the base of the coiler. It has no business being on top. You're going to give it a different coily look if you do that. Yes, there are different ways to achieve different curls using different techniques, but if you want to get these type of bouncy curls, this is what you must do every single time. But the rule still remains, regardless of the curls that you're using, curl away from the face towards the imaginary line. Now when we get to the front of the hair, I like to cut my sections diagonally just so that I can give myself face framing curls. We will still use the same rules. Curl away from your face towards the imaginary line. I will say this over and over and over again till it sinks in, and watch how the tip of the hair is at the bottom of the barrel.
technique to coiling is to have the hair in the clasp of the coiling iron, and then you keep turning till you have secured the ends of the hair in the coiling iron. It's very easy. If it's stiff, you just let it go just a little bit until you secure the end. It requires practice, but it's something that you can definitely do. Now I'm about to lay the closure. I know you think we've done that earlier, but we haven't. What I was doing is I was using my wax stick. You need to use it very lightly, just at the roots of the hair, because it's heavy and it attracts dust and dirt. Now I'm using a brush and my coiling iron to lay the edges. That's because the hot comb creates lines on the hair. So I prefer this method because it makes the hair smooth and laid. This is what the hair looks like after it has been curled. I'm just going to leave this to cool down and set for a couple of hours. While that's cooling down, we are going to give our lace a temporary customization using makeup. So the first thing I do is to put a small portion of the foundation on the back of my hand, and then I am going to lightly dab it on the lace just so it does not bleed through. Typically we're supposed to bleach the knots and tone the lace, but this is a temporary fix and this is something that you can do at home as well. If it bleeds through, you can use rubbing alcohol and a cotton pad to just fix that. It's that easy. Make sure you dab, do not press in. After you've done the foundation, we now use a powder to set the foundation, and then after the powder we use a freeze spray to set all of that in, just so the makeup doesn't transfer to your head every single time you wear your wig. Now this is a mistake that people make. You see these two things behind, it's not for tying, neither is it for attaching them onto each other. This wig cap is called adjustable for a reason. You put the hook into the hole depending on your head size, just like I did. Now in order to cut your lace, you need to cut it down the middle to make it easier for you, and then you cut it in a zigzag pattern. Just wiggle, 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 wiggle. Do not cut it straight down. It will not blend into your skin. It will not look natural and you will not like it. Remember, wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Hi guys, I'm back and here's the wig. So we're going to try it on now. Hopefully we're looking like Sarah Jakes Roberts, because that's what we're going for, not a judgmental Nigerian auntie. So here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to take out the pins and then we'll see the big reveal. Why am I so anxious? Like, I don't do this all the time. Every time I'm in front of the camera, I guess I just feel like things flop. So this is how it looks with all the pins taken out. I have not yet combed it, but I love the way it's looking. It's giving modern auntie that can be president. Do you agree with me? It's giving power auntie, power modern auntie. It's giving auntie that doesn't judge. It's giving rich auntie. It's giving auntie that will give you everything that you want to give. Why is it giving auntie? But yeah, I think it looks so much more better. It looks more natural. The hairline looks a bit natural. I wish I plucked it more, but I always scared of plucking too much of these T-part closures because they are very thin. So I just feel like I might take out too much hair. But overall, I think this looks good. I'm just going to comb it out now and then we'll see what it looks after being combed out. But what do you guys think of this look? The roots are more mellow for me. I mean, they're not as dark as I would want them to be, but I think the brown blends better with the red instead of black. I think black might be too harsh, but let me know what you guys let me know what you guys think about this look. Also let me know if this video was helpful as well in the comments, and what more you like to see regarding hair. If you have any questions at all about anything that I did in this video, do not hesitate to ask me in the comments. If you're shy, send me an email or a DM on any of my social platforms, which will be on the screen right now and also in the description box. All right, I'm just going to comb the hair out and then we would end this video. All right guys, so let's comb it out. To comb this out, I will be using my holding spray, and you can use any wide tooth comb that you have. I found this a couple of, I think last year or 2 years back, and I don't know, I've just always used it for curls, but you don't necessarily have to use it for curls. So you can use any wide tooth comb that you have and then just spray on your holding spray on the comb like this, and then you just comb it out. It gives LinkedIn hair, it gives work hair, it gives career woman, it gives, like I said, you can be president even with red hair. Jury 2023. So that's it for this hair tutorial. For tighter curls, use a smaller barrel and do it in smaller sections. That's it for this tutorial. I really hope that this was really helpful to someone. At least one aspect of this was helpful to someone. If you want more tutorials, let me know in the comment section and I'll be happy to do them. Let me know what you want to see more of in the comment section. But yes, that's it for this video. I really hope it was helpful. If you enjoyed it, like, if you haven't already, subscribe and then hit the notification button so you do not miss out on any of our Vlogmas adventures. See you tomorrow. Kisses, love, and good wishes.